/ I don't know what we call you, middleweight contender, Michael Fox.
Yeah, multiple weight, the any weight contender.
Yeah. Mike, I'm not saying this because we're cool, but I've seen you get robbed on multiple occasions. And against Serhii Bohachuk, who I think is a good fighter, I saw you get robbed again. That's my perspective. You tell me what's your thoughts? What happened?
Man, I mean, I fought the fight. I thought I thought I was winning. Hold on one second. My bad. I'm tripping. Oh shit. I gotta get out.
All right, Mike's about to come in again. But yeah, if you watch the fight, I did a live on the fight. I thought Mike won that fight clean. I thought he was robbed of a knockdown. I thought he outboxed Boychuk. I thought that he neutralized exactly what Boychuk wanted to do. All right, Mike's coming back in.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So
my bad. My phone had background noise. I couldn't figure out what it was.
There was a whole bunch of controversy in this fight, the ending and the beginning. You told me the fight was at 154. The fight was billed at 154. You moving up one weight class. And then all of a sudden at the weigh-in, I see dude weighs in at a 159 and you weigh in at 154. And I'm sitting here like, yo, Mike jumping up 2 weight classes? Like, what the fuck? Tell me what happened, bro.
All right, so like from the top, like early April, my promoter hit me. Jetta hit me. He like, you have any interest in fighting this dude? Shoot me a text. It's Serhii Bohachuk's box rack. I'm like, I talk it over with with my coach. I'm like, yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. All right. They sent the contract. I think they sent the contract to my promoter. The same night? Or not? A day later, I get the contract. It reads 154. It reads 154 on it. I read it over. It looked right. Money's right. I sign it. Easter, right after Easter, he get a text talking about, yeah, man, they want to move the weight up to a catch weight of 157. He's having trouble making weight. He's having trouble. He doesn't think he can get down to 54. So while they got time, they're like, all right, bet. I say, man, slide me some extra bread, and I'll fight him at 157. I fight him, and then I get out. So we sparring, we training, we getting all the work done. I get out to California. It's the day before the weigh-in. I get another call from my promoter. He like, man, he's saying they struggling to get out of the 60s, out of the 160s, right? I'm like, I'm out here. I hit my father. I'm like, yo, I tell him, let him know what's going on. I say, I tell you what, man, we're gonna go to the weigh-in. I'm gonna weigh in on the contract weight. I'm gonna coming in at 157 or under. I didn't expect to be at 154 to be honest, but I come in at 157 because I stopped cutting because I was there. I was there at 157. So I'm like, yeah, man, I'm gonna be there. We'll just handle it at the weigh-in. We at the weigh-in. Medical's getting done. Paperwork getting done. One of the 360 promotions guys pulls my taps me down the shoulders. That man, Tom needs to speak with y'all. Blah blah blah. He said, "Look, Bohachuk is at 159 and a half. Mind you, this is an hour and a half after call time. He's in there in pants and a t-shirt. He done stopped trying to cut the weight. He done stopped trying to cut the weight completely. So it's like, so then my father was like, man, well, I mean, so he's not. So you saying he's at 159? He ain't in here in no sauna suit. He wasn't late to the weigh-in. He just sitting there like, fuck it. Basically, Tom, take care of it. Essentially, just man, take care of it. So we do a bunch of negotiating. Like, right, they're like, look, man, if the commission will take 20%, but he'll be allowed to put on 15% of his weight. Or of like the contract weight or whatever, which is like 23 pounds. He can do that. We like, nah, that's not gonna work. Like, that's not gonna work, yo. And then they said, all right, look, we'll move the contract to 160. We'll give you some more money. And then we put a rehydration clause on him. He couldn't come in past one. He couldn't come in over 174. So we weighed in. We made him weigh in again at 5 p.m. He came in at 173.9, and then the fight went on.
All right, so
that was a lot.
No, Mike, your career 147 pounds, right?
Right.
And so you move up for the opportunity because you've been in search for a big fight, a big name, and Bohachuk's coming off of a great performance where I thought he beat Virgil Ortiz. So you move up to fight him, then they move you to a catch weight, and then they wait until I think that was the significant part. They waited till you got out to Cali to spring that on you because I done already flew 6 hours.
Right.
So am I going to really turn back around? I doubt it. But wow.
But look, let me tell you this part too. So after I get a call from my promoter, we out in Cali. After I get the call from my promoter, he's not gonna make that. They sent the dudes in my room to get a weight just to see where I'm at. I wasn't thinking about it at the time, but they only doing that to be like, okay, well if he's at 159, tell him to just stop and we can just still have a fight and they both be at a new weight. I'm like, oh, I forget. I wasn't thinking about that at the time. At that point, I was at like 156 on the nose. So I'm like, so yeah, I'm on. I'm good to go. Being professional. I'm in there being professional. Seems I was the only one being professional.
Now, this is a guy that was ranked number 1 by the WBC.
Yeah.
And so, yeah. All right, so let's go into the fight. I feel like in the first couple of rounds, I had it 1-1. I had it even. Mm-hmm. And then you made a subtle adjustment where you'd be boxing, you'd be going one way, and then you did like a quick change of direction and a quick change of rhythm, but on a consistent basis. And it seemed like that was the change in the fight. What did you see? And was that a conscious adjustment that you made?
Well, now that was a call by my coach made the call. My father, Troy Fox, he made the call. He's like, man, you got to change directions a little more. You know what I mean? Just change directions a little more. But I could hear. I could hear Bohachuk's corner. I could hear Manny Robles telling him, man, you got to step harder telling Bohachuk to step harder to his left to cut off my jab side. My father was like, all right, we'll just change direction. Maybe if you know what I'm saying, he was at the weight he was supposed to be at, we might have battled for that lead hand advantage. But me, I know how to fight both ways. I know how to fight. I can move either direction and still have an effective offense. I feel like so as I was changing directions, where he's stepping hard to his left, I stepped to my left. You know what I'm saying? Now he has to change direction. It makes him lift his back foot, so he couldn't sit on his power as much as he wanted to. And I'm just hitting him. I'm just hitting him with my left hand. Then the thing is, he'll when I step hard to my left, he starts shooting his right hand. I step hard to the left and juke back to the right, shoot the left hand, and you know what I'm saying. Then I win that dominant hand position. You know what I mean? I knew he was heavy as shit. He was heavy as shit. They like, man. They asked me to come up and weight. Nobody told me he was going up in weight too. So we just we doing
Y'all both jumped up a weight class for the fight.
Yeah, everybody's going up for a weight class. You go up. Everybody's fighting at middleweight. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, but yeah, the adjustments. I mean, that's how coaches earn their money, man. And shout out to Troy Fox. He made the call. You know what I'm saying? I felt the fight was very competitive on both sides, but it was who could make more adjustments. And the adjustments that he called for, the adjustments I seen, I thought we were in a close one. According to the judges, it wasn't close. I thought we were in a close one, and then I thought maybe that knockdown that was a slip. I thought that would have pushed me over, but the adjustment was just more direction changes, and attacking off the angles and countering when I could And when we found out he was struggling to make weight, I was like, man, I'm gonna try to get to the body a little more. So I was sneaking body shots in as I could, but he a big boy.
We ain't even gonna get to the knockdown yet, right? We gonna stay.
Take your time.
We're gonna stay with the early rounds, right? All right. So, in the first and second round, you were trading more than what I thought. First off, the ring was small as shit. The whole promotion, you could tell everything was catered around him. I want to send a shout out to the commentary team. I don't know you, but you're the most biased motherfuckers that I've ever listened to, right? So, in the first two rounds, it seemed like it was an even neck and neck fight, but your father makes that adjustment, and it just seemed like he was a fish out of water after that. He was really having trouble cutting the ring off and couldn't really land anything significant. And I don't know, was this the plan leading into the fight? But the uppercut was landing at will.
So when I watched the Virgil Ortiz fight, Virgil Ortiz and Bohachuk, I watched that fight like probably 5 times. Anytime I was like, so I run outside, since I run a treadmill, and sometimes I jump on the little stationary bike. So I jumped on a stationary bike. I was watching that joint. I watched that joint like 5 times. I watched that joint on TV. I mean on YouTube at home. I watched it any chance I could, and that was one thing that really stuck out is like I said, damn, Virgil is landing them motherfucking uppercuts. He is landing them uppercuts. Bohachuk comes in with the high guard, and he's like, but they're like almost not on his ears, but they like on his temples, like right here. But it's a clear shot right there. So, I mean, you ask anybody I spot, I'm quite fond of uppercuts. Greg Outlaw's in the chat. Ask him. He said he'll tell you I'm quite fond of uppercuts. Shout out to Greg Outlaw. But I seen so he's coming in, and then it's like he's kind of trying to tunnel in, like he's trying to use his size, right? But I'm like, I'm gonna catch you on the way in. Bam, uppercut, turn out. Sometimes I land an uppercut. Sometimes he got me to the ropes. But like the whole thing was, I know this dude gonna be big, but like my coach, he has a saying where he's like, man, get your shit off and get the fuck out of there. Don't stay for change. So I was just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna get my like me and him gonna mix it up, but he's never leaving without his change. You know what I'm saying? He's never leaving without his change. So, and the uppercuts were the uppercuts, and I was trying to sneak body shots in. You know what I'm saying? And we had to slow that Ukrainosaurus down, man.
Yeah, I noticed every time you exited the back door, it was an uppercut and then something over the top, and it just seemed like he just couldn't adjust. Like I know you said it was a battle of adjustments, but it seemed like it was one adjustment and then that was it. You made the adjustment and kind of offset his aggression.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, in his style of fighting, he likes to apply pressure, work behind his jab, and all that. I mean, when you got a pressure fighter, really think about even like look at like when Charlo fought Castaño the second time. The biggest adjustment that Castaño made was he tried to apply more pressure. So I mean that's the only it's not the only, I won't say it's the only, but that's the first adjustment they try to make. All right, if I pressure him harder, he won't be able to do this. Like, nah, bro, because I want you to press. You can keep applying pressure. This is like I'm 6'4". I'm used to people trying to be in my chest, people trying to come at me, people trying to make the ring smaller. This is how I know how to fight. If I can get you where you're just trying to sit back on me and try to box with me and we jousting and we fencing together and shit, you're not gonna win that. And a lot of people know that. You're not gonna win that battle when you can't sit back with me. You gotta come in. I'm used to that. So I got trapped. So when you come in, biggest difference is, he was heavy. So I'm landing shots. They like he just it's like I heard the commentary. I heard some of the highlights like, yeah, he kind of pitter patting. He ain't pitter patting. This motherfucker just big as a house.
He's saying pitter patting, but I'm scoring. No,
and I'm scoring. Yeah, I'm scoring. He's throwing bigger shots, but I'm throwing. He's throwing bigger shots, but I'm landing more. Bigger versus more. You know what? Pause that. I don't like that.
yeah.
I don't like that. But he's throwing bigger shots. I'm throwing more shots, and I felt like You know what I mean? I should get credit for that. Like this dude ain't just coming in whoosh and then sending me across the room. I'm like, oh, okay, that one hurt a little bit, but pop, pop, pop. Take a few of these. We'll try it again later.
Now, Mike, I had you up 7 rounds to 3, 6 rounds to 4. And
Yeah.
this is without the most controversial part of the fight.
Uh-huh.
I think it was, what was it, the 9th round? It was 8th, 9th round?
I think you talk about the 10th. If I think what you're talking about.
Was it the 10th? Okay.
The last round I
Um,
knocked him down. Let's just
straight
establish
le-
the win.
straight left, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a tie up, wasn't a clinch or
None of
nothing
that.
like that. You weren't even in an exchange on the inside. It was you went for a walk, and then he's coming forward, and then you just touch him with a left hand. He goes straight down, and then the ref out of nowhere says push.
Yeah.
What the fuck was going through your mind, yo?
All right, so it's the last round, 9th and 10th round. My father and my cut man Reginald Brown, he kept me safe. We got a few marks and little dings, but you know what I'm saying. No cuts. We made it home. So shout out to Reginald Brown. He earned his money. He earned his money last night too, but Saturday night too. But um, we ended up. I'm just like, I mean, you doing good, man. Look, just you gotta dig it out. I know he heavy, man. You gotta dig it out. Keep moving. About I ain't for anything, man. 6 more minutes. I just need 6 more minutes from you. Then the last one, I need 3 more minutes from you, Joe. Let's go. All right. In my mind, I'm like, I feel like this fight's been close the whole night. He landed some good shit. I landed some good shit. We in Cali. I need to win this 10th if I'm leaving with a draw. That's what I said to myself. I need to leave with the because we out west. We out west. It's his promoter. He live out there. That's his adopted home or whatever. So I mean, them judges seen him before. The crowd probably seen him before. I'm like, we probably not. We might not leave with a decision. Maybe we might get a draw. So we boxing, doing what I've been doing, right? And then that same left hand I had been landing. You know what I'm saying? I had been landing. That was the same one that put him down. So he's trying to apply more pressure to secure his 10th round. I'm trying to box better to secure my 10th round. I finally land the left hand. Bow. Like I see him jump in. I didn't see how much he actually left his feet to try to catch me. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like he like jumped in and almost like left he left that he was leaping at me when he jumped in. I shot the same jump, shot the cross, boom, as I was sliding out, right? And this motherfucker, like his feet kicked from up under him. His feet kicked
Yes.
from up under him. You know what I'm saying? And he got a pattern ass from the canvas. You know what I'm saying? Like he had to pick himself up. So I thought, boom, I might have just eat this shit out. Thomas Triber, not Triber, excuse me, Thomas Taylor, who is normally a great ref. Everybody has an off night. He's like, that was a slip. I'm like, oh shit. That's what went through my mind. Oh shit. Right, and it was like right as the 10 the bell for the last 10 seconds, that joint. So I thought, boom, that's the last thing they're gonna see too. That's me. I needed that. He said that was a slip. I didn't even hear it. My father said they already started counting, and then Thomas Taylor waved it off like, nah, that was a slip. That was a slip, and they stopped the count. So I'm like, shit, that was that was my last chance.
Yo, how do you call a punch landed? You fell. What the fuck?
Right,
Like,
a
what the
punch
fuck is
lands, you
going
fall.
on, yo?
Look, if your feet aren't disciplined enough to keep to withstand a shot like that, then that's a knockdown, bro. That's how knockdowns go. Every knockdown in the history of boxing has not been a devastating. Well, we can't all be Julian Jackson. We can't all be Thomas Hearns. You know what I'm saying? We can't all be Wilder. But every knockdown that's ever happened has not all been just boom. That motherfucker sleep. It's boom, knocked down. And motherfuckers laugh it off like that was on me. That was my fault. I should have did better. You know what I'm saying? Every knockdown isn't a oh my goodness. But he made a tactical error, and I took advantage of it.
Yo, don't even read the comments, Mike.
I
You
ain't worried about
don't
that.
even don't even
I
read
ain't
it.
worried about that. Hey man, I see one comment. Most people don't know shit about boxing, and that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yo, I feel like there's a there's a misconnect on or a disconnect on the rules and how you're supposed to judge a fight, right? It's supposed to be clean, effective punching, effective aggression, ring generalship. Just because you're coming forward, if you
Right.
are not landing,
Uh-huh.
then your aggression doesn't fucking matter. It's ineffective aggression. So you should actually
Yes.
lose punches by your aggression not being effective. So this narrative that boxing fans have that, oh, the guy that's coming forward and trying to push the fight should be winning the fight. Fuck no. You
Yeah,
need to
no,
actually be landing punches.
right. I mean, we're talking about effective, like when you like that's one of the things that has to be that really has to be redefined or looked at or reviewed is what excuse me is what is considered effective aggression. You know what I'm saying? A guy's coming forward. He's on his front foot getting pieced up. You know what I'm saying? That's not effective aggression. I mean, we're in a fight. You are on the front foot. I mean, okay, yeah, you maybe you can absorb shots, but maybe you're absorbing the shots better uh than than most people can. But you're getting hit with shots. Like I just going so because he's coming forward, it doesn't render it shouldn't render my effectiveness mute or moot. I should say it shouldn't render my effectiveness moot just because yeah, you coming forward, but you coming forward in the shots, bro. Coming forward in the shots. You know, I mean, Floyd Mayweather wasn't always on his front foot, and he was very effective. You had motherfuckers trying to run him down, and he's boop, boop. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm Floyd Mayweather at all, but I'm catching this bammer. I'm in there with a light heavyweight. I'm in there with a light heavyweight. I'm hitting him with my best shots. I can't sit in front of this bammer. Virgil Ortiz couldn't sit in front of him, and Virgil Ortiz is at his weight. The times where Virgil Ortiz sat in front of him, he got knocked down twice. But what Virgil Ortiz did very well is when he got lateral and got behind his jab and started walking Bohachuk in the counter. That was something I was trying to emulate as well. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It showed a big hole in Bohachuk's game when Virgil Ortiz was became lateral, sticking him with the jab. You ain't never seen Virgil Ortiz going side to side as much as he was when
No,
he fought Bohachuk.
no.
But
That was the first time.
those moments there are the reason Virgil won the fight because he was completely ineffective when Virgil was moving laterally. He's sticking him. He being first. He running him into shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the and he needed rounds like that were like well, Bohachuk ain't really do much of anything this round. He needed that. He needed that after getting knocked down twice, and he won.
Do you feel like you exposed Boychuk?
I don't consider it exposing. If I would have exposed him, I would have won. I don't really call. I don't really call that exposing him. I mean, what it, if anybody exposed him, it was Virgil. It was Virgil, and it was Brandon Adams who clipped him. Who clipped him? Everybody was like, "Man, Bohachuk's gonna knock Fox out. Bohachuk this, Bohachuk that. He's a monster. He's this, he's that. He's also been the only one of us two that got in that ring that night that got stopped before. I got 5 losses now. I ain't been stopped. I don't lay down for no motherfucking body. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. He's applying a bunch of pressure. He got walked into a shot. That's how Brandon got him. Virgil Ortiz, lateral, boxing the shit out of him. Those are dudes. Virgil Ortiz exposed him. That's when I watched the fight with him before I accepted the offer. I'm like, nah, we can get with him. We can get with him. At 154, I knew I could. Man, I fought him at 159. I fought him at middleweight. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never even seen 170 on the scale. So I rehydrated up to my normal weight, my normal fight weight, and I did what I could with the situation.
Here's the reason why I actually use that terminology, though, and this is for you and my man 2 Cents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your career 47.
Right,
He's a big puncher. He's got like an 89% knockout ratio, right?
right,
So you move up in weight and actually have to fight a guy that's 2 weight classes higher than you. Come fight 9. You
yep,
have what 5, 6 knockouts in
right,
almost 30 fights.
yep.
and then you catch him clean. You said you would have won if you had exposed him. You would have won. Well, we know the business of boxing isn't like that. The business of boxing and actual boxing are two different things. The business of boxing clearly states that if you sell tickets or have the potential to sell tickets, you are going to be in. You are going to benefit from decisions.
Yeah. Somebody
So that's
commented.
why I said exposed.
Yeah, I feel you. Somebody commented too. I saw it on Twitter somewhere. They said they said 360 paid was paying the big bucks to try to keep Virgil versus Bohachuk 2 alive. And I mean, maybe you, I'm not, I ain't gonna claim all that. But what I do know is they had to pay big bucks for that weight advantage too. That weight advantage that he couldn't really do much with. You know, he's like somebody I remember I saw on Twitter again. I be on Twitter. I saw on Twitter again. Somebody was like, "Man, can we expect?" They tweeted Bojack, "Can we expect another knockout?" He says, "Yes." That's two promises you didn't keep. Contractually, you didn't make the weight, and you couldn't, and you didn't get and you didn't get the knockout that you promised your fans. I mean, you know, so yeah, I exposed that he doesn't keep his promises.
Yo, appreciate the $5 super chat from my man Derek. He deleted the message, but yo, after watching that fight, I was on the phone with another welterweight, and I'm like, yo, if you jump to 54, bro, boy, it's shot. The blueprint's already been laid out.
You want to know? Yeah, it was Boots, wasn't it? That's all. That's the only person it was.
But yeah, the blueprint's been laid out, bro.
Yeah, I mean the blueprint was laid out before I got in there, but I'm just saying but you're right, as a career welterweight, for me to fight competitively against the WBC #1 contender, and I think he's number 7 in the WBO. For me to fight competitive in that, yes, there is a blueprint that's laid. You know, the professor going to teach. Win or lose, the professor going to teach, man.
Mike, you've been victim to about 3 really, really controversial fights, right? The first one was Lucas Santa Maria. The second one's Gabriel Mestre, and now this fight. Um, why?
Um, I don't have the answer to that question, man. I think somebody is trying to see me get diabetes from humble pie. So so it's just like I'm gonna keep rolling the dice. I'm gonna keep doing what I do, man. They you know, I don't have no reason to hang my head about this fight. You know, I get it. I got into a challenging fight. I knew it was gonna be challenging, but it ain't no money in taking easy fights. You feel what I'm saying? And even like even you know, yeah, like I said, even now, I mean, I'm excited to get back. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, you know, the kind words, everybody, you know, everybody sending and everything, but I ain't got no reason to hang my head, bro, because I know, like, I mean, if for some reason we were to fight again, I would demand he makes 154 or I'm flying home. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Like fuck it. Like either way, like I gave y'all that first time, but he makes 54, I'm flying home. And I just think the fight will be different. I think the fight will be different. I will say I didn't have to give up this much. I didn't have to give that much away. I didn't have to give him that weight. I could have been like, John, nah, you blew it, Joe. Like, I mean, I could have been like, man, you're a 154 fighter. You asked for 157, and now you're here at 159. I should say, man, go explain to Tom Loeffler how you fucked up his main event. I could have been like that. But like, man, like at the end of it all, you know, I think I'm a smart fighter, use my brain as much as I can. But you know, when it's all said and done, I like fighting. I love fighting. So it's I can't tell you why get these controversial joints. But that's it. I think I said a lot about me that like most of my losses came with controversy. The fight with Luke Santa Maria, shout out to Luke Santa Maria. I thought I could have pulled that off. I don't even care about losing that fight that much because I was having a lot of fun in that fight. The Maestre fight was just ridiculous. If you know, you know. That
One of
fight
the
was
greatest.
ridiculous.
That was one of the
And
greatest
now this,
robberies I've ever seen. That was the
yeah.
one
And now
heist of
this
the
one,
century.
yeah. And now this one, I went into somebody's adopted back. I went to somebody's backyard, the adopted backyard. I went. It's his promotion. They putting the money together, for to put the whole event together. And guess what? I made them pay for it. I made them pay for all of it. You know what I'm saying? When they wanted to move the weight up from 54 to 57. All right, let's tack on some extra, a few extra grand on that. Then they moved it from he's 159 and a half. He's not going to get to 157. Sitting at the weigh-in, not in no sauna suits or nothing. Just sitting at the weigh-in, just like basically like, man, they'll fix it or they won't. You know what I mean? Y'all gonna give me some money for that too. You know what I mean? So it just goes how it goes. I'm gonna keep fighting. However it goes from here. I'm always gonna be competitive. And if this is but this shows you the level that I'm at, where these are guys I gotta fight. I don't get too many tune-ups, too many easy fights. I was supposed to fight March 1st. They couldn't find nobody. My promoter did the best he could. He couldn't find nobody to fight me. He's a local promoter. Shout out to Tony Jetta. He's a local promoter. He can do the best he can with his resources. But but when they say you want to fight Michael Fox, and that exhausts, fighting Michael Fox will exhaust somebody's resources sometimes.
For sure. Because regular boxing hasn't been kind to you,
Mm-hmm.
would you entertain TKO Boxing League? Does that make sense? You're having difficulty getting fights, and then when you get these fights, the decisions.
I entertain I entertain opportunities, yo. I'll entertain opportunities if it makes sense. We'll give it a go. If it makes sense, we'll give it a go. But that's the biggest thing. The only thing about like that TKO boxing, my biggest questions are like, how will it, how will it fit into what boxing kind of is now? Just in the sense of like, you know, for me, like I said, I however my look 24-5. I'm still respected in this sport. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to go off to camp real soon. If you know what's on the calendar, you know whose camp I'm going to be in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have respect in this sport either way. Whether I go to TKO or whether I can continue with here, because I'm a professional. I show up on time. I don't wreck hotel rooms when they fly me out, and I fight when it's time to fight. You know what I mean? I fight when I give it the best. I do the best job I can every time I'm out there. I give it the best effort. So they going they're gonna respect. Respect is, at the end of it all, is probably is the most important thing. You know what I mean? Where I can go into a room and be like, oh yeah, that's Fox. I know him. He get a raw deal sometime, but that motherfucker can fight. That I'm happy with that. TKO, I'll go. They call me. Fuck it, I'll go be the king of TKO boxing, whatever it is. I mean, I'm wherever the opportunity is, that's where you'll find me.
Do you look back at your boxing career with a bitter taste because of all the controversial decisions?
No, the only bitter taste I got really about any of the fights is that magistrate fight. Like, you like other times, if you're the better man that night, it is. But on that night in August of 2021, you were not better than me. You were not better than me. I don't know who you knew. You know what I'm saying? I don't know whose ass you kissed, or whose humiliation ritual you did to get favored like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one that leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Me and Luke Santa Maria fought competitively. I fought competitively
What
with
was your fight?
Shodan Ergashev. I fought competitively with Bohachuk and Mean Machine. Did the best I could in each of those losses. Did the best I could in 24, and the best I could in 24 wins as well. That's the only one that I'm like, dog, I washed you. I washed you. You know what I'm saying? And somebody said, and somebody sent you, you know what I'm saying, a trap card or Uno reverse, whatever. I don't know what they. I don't know who cuz knew to for this shit to shake out for him like it did. But I mean, like I said, though, it goes how it goes. There's a lesson in the business, and in this business and in all businesses, man. I guess it's about who you know.
All right, Straight Facts Boxing asks, are you kin to Alontes Fox?
That is my elder brother. That is my elder brother. I wouldn't exist. The boxing ability I have wouldn't exist without him. Um, you know, his career in boxing started in 2010, and I was fortunate enough to sit back and be able to learn, what to do, what not to do, business wise and in the ring and things like that. These conversations we're having now don't exist without him, man. Shout out to my brother Alontes Fox. Shout out to my niece too.
Cool. What's next? Jeter Promotions posted July 26th.
Yeah, we're saying so. Yeah, so I'm gonna go off to camp, and then July 26th I'll be fighting at home. Just keep moving, just keep rolling until another opportunity presents itself, and we'll be looking to do our best to take advantage of it.
Now, are you going to use that training camp that you're going to as a training camp to prepare for July 26th?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's gonna be high level. It's high level sparring, so we want to definitely take full advantage of that. It's high level sparring that we want to take full advantage of, and then we just come back and both both of us are gonna both of us are hopefully gonna have a great July.
All right, everybody in the chat before Mike heads out, but I got to get him on some boxing questions. Put in the chat, how did you score the fight? Let me know. How did you score the fight? All right. A lot's happened in boxing, Mike. Your two boys, they're gonna run it back again. First fight was a fucking banger. Gervonta Davis, Lamont Roach.
Yeah.
What do you think that they run it in the back immediately?
What do I think of it?
Yeah, what do you think of it?
Oh, with the effort that was put up and with a bit of controversy, I think it's necessary. I mean, it's necessary because I think Lamar Roach earned a second crack at it because when's the last time you seen Tank in a fight that competitive?
Right.
You haven't seen that. I mean, and for some reason it's still not in the area. I don't know what's going on. That
Bro,
don't
they
needs to be.
pissing me off.
Yeah, like don't get me wrong. I'm happy for my men. You know what I'm saying? They in Vegas. That's the fight capital. I hear all that. I'm with all that. But come on, man. Uh, uh, Baltimore versus Baltimore versus DMV or DC. Baltimore versus DC has always kind of been a rivalry there in sport. You got Commanders versus the Ravens. Like you might not understand the terms, but you got the Moes versus the Dummies. If you from that area, if you from either of those areas, you know what I mean. But nah, really, that doesn't be an area, but it's gonna be in Vegas. As long as I like to see my man shining either way, I just want that jump to be here. I just wanted that jump to be here. One of them, none of them, neither one of them won't be here. Damn, but
Yo,
hey,
you know what's crazy, right?
well,
Is that you could put it in Capital One Arena, but I think that fight is so big in the Maryland area that you could put it at the Orioles or Washington, or what's your baseball team?
uh, the Nationals, the Nationals.
Nationals.
I
I
mean,
feel like it's that big that you could possibly put it in those.
yeah,
Literally.
man. I mean, look, this is the thing. Tank's a star. He gonna sell wherever he go. And Lamont, he's a big star too. He's a big star now. Like he was always a if you know fight type of fighter. Now his popularity went up. I mean, you see cameras on him. People like him just for the young man he is. I love that for him. He's not, but I mean the biggest thing about him, he's not an attention whore, but he doesn't shy away from attention. But you know what I mean, he's like that whole both of them fighting here, it would put asses in seats. You know what I mean? Because Lamont does all of his media obligations. He shows up on time. He does things. He doesn't walk around like I'm a star, so y'all will wait for me. And that's what's attracting people to him. So I mean, you put him and Tank in a big stadium like that. I think it could do numbers.
Yeah, shouts out to my man Lamont's PR guy. Shouts out to Nilo. They doing a really, really good job.
Yeah, excellent.
Who who has the edge going into the rematch? Not who will win. I know they're your guys, but who has the edge going into the rematch?
Honestly, I'm gonna say Lamont Roach has the edge just because everything with his team is pretty solid. Like, they're basically all on the same page, like they one dude. You know what I mean? The goal is, we beat Gervonta Tank Davis. I think he has an advantage. I think he has an advantage in that. I think that should, that kind of puts that's one thing that'll put your mind at rest. Everybody know what they got to do. Everybody has their job. All I got to do is prepare now, because we're all doing this. We're gonna our mission: prepare Lamont Roach for the date. You know what I mean? Whereas Tank, as talented as he is, and strong, power punch, all that, everything, all the attributes he has, I think. I mean, he's still kind of all over the place. That's my guy, but he's all over the place. He's got to figure out, like, this is the thing when you have you got two world championship teams in one corner. You got Headbangers, you got Upton Boxing, Calvin and Kenny, you got Barry Hunter and Bug Harris. You got two world championship teams. Both of their systems have worked before, right? You got to see which one works best for you, because they can't all be in the same ring. They can't be in the same corner, because the ideas are going to collapse on each other. The idea is going to collapse on each other. And I mean, so right now, Lamont has the advantage. We got to see what decisions, Tank makes in his corner. And then, things will just be, and we'll see we'll look at the fight then from a different lens when all that gets sorted out.
Okay. Another fight that's being talked about. Don't know if it's going to happen. We'll see how everything plays out. Unanimous, Teofimo Lopez.
Hey, I already know your pick. What do you say? Child support, Lou Dort, divorce court, innocent five. No, but yeah, no. Look, we're speaking candidly here.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Teofimo Lopez. He's a fucking racist, man. Team Boots, and it's all motherfucking day. Boots, and it's all motherfucking day. All right, and Tim Bradley, like, it's one thing to be a company man, but I mean, the way he's sounding in these interviews when he's talking about Teofimo. So you remember Django, right? You remember Sam Jackson and Django. So I mean, I ain't gonna say, I'm not saying that's him, but I mean, the way you sound is a little reminiscent of that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I get, like, we're talking boxing. That little racist motherfucker can fight, but he's not always consistent. Boost has consistently been on a tear, and he's naturally bigger. He's probably just as athletic and bigger, and he's focused. And I think he knows that fighting a win over Teofimo, that's a good look on the resume. They're gonna say, oh man, he came up from 140. So he made that decision. But ultimately, man, Boost for the win, man. You know what I'm saying? Team that fight happens is team Boots. You know what I'm saying? The culture count on you,
man. Everybody talks about Teofimo Lopez's elusiveness, and I feel like the biggest takeaway is I haven't really seen Teo look explosive as far as the punching at 140 pounds. So why am I going to think that you're going to go up and be able to even tickle the biggest 147 that's shown the propensity to be able to take a punch?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I feel you. I think going up to 47, but it's not just that he's going up to 47. Joe, you're going up, like you said, you're taking on the biggest welterweight, and you're taking on someone who's, probably just as athletic. Those, those, natural instincts that you might have. You go in the ring with Boots, I don't think he's going to be the only one with those natural instincts. Boots is a switch hitter, good speed, well schooled. Shout out to Bozy and this a well schooled guy. Where I feel like Teofimo relies heavily on athleticism. But when, let's say, both of their athleticism are on the level, it's who that's another time where your coach is going to earn their money. I don't think that Teofimo Senior can outcoach Bozy Ennis. If, you know what I'm saying? Look, just think, they're both father coaches, and you have father.
I think he can
look,
out. I think he can out coke Bozy in this though.
Yeah, out drink him, maybe out coke him, out drink him. But look, the thing, you got both of these guys are father coaches. But the thing is, you got fathers that wanted to be coaches versus fathers that want to coach their sons. Teofimo Senior just want to coach Teo. You will never see him in nobody else's corner. Nobody's gonna seek him out for his knowledge. You know what I mean? Bozy Ennis has, as far as champions go, he got Boots, and he got what's her name, O'Shea Jones,
O'Shea,
and then you got one more, and you got Stephen Fulton,
cool boy. Yeah,
he helped. Let's say he helped Stephen Fulton get back to a world championship.
yeah.
I mean, that goes to show that this man know what the fuck he doing. Teofimo Senior, coaching, training your son to do everything he's done. He's done all of that, but like, can you do that again? Can you do that with anybody else? I don't think so. When you talk about who a better coach is, I got to give it to Bozy.
I agree. Well, yeah, I said I got Bozy in this out coaching Teofimo Lopez Sr., but I also have Teofimo Lopez Sr. out coking
Yeah, no,
Bozy in
I
this.
heard
I
you.
don't.
I heard you.
No,
Out
no, no.
coking.
That's for the people in the chat.
Oh, yeah. Out coking. Okay.
Yeah, out coking. I don't think any. I don't
Yeah.
think any trainer in the world can out coke Teofimo Lopez Sr. When when hearing Tim Bradley's assessment of the fight, you referenced the Django thing. Like, do you may not agree. All right, so I'm trying to be respectful. People feel like there's a pattern with Tim Bradley. Is that kind of why you spoke on that?
What I mean, what would the pattern be? Who else would they be in reference to?
He's very, very critical of Tank. He's very, very critical of Earl Spence. Very critical of Boots.
Well, ultimately, let me say this. I think it comes down to respect. I mean, I respect that he found a career after his boxing career. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, Tim respectfully, as a commentator, he's a bit of a company man. He's not gonna speak ill. He's not gonna speak too harshly, especially going up against all the
mm,
others. When he's talking about top ranked guys, he top rank is on his commentary checks. I imagine he's with that side. He's firmly with that side. He turned down a fight with Floyd Mayweather to and re-signed with Top Rank. He is firmly loyal to Top Rank, and I can't fault loyalty like that. But I mean, it would when it I think it might affect how he looks at the sport. Sometimes you're not looking at two fighters. You're looking at, okay, we got this top ranked fighter versus we got this other fighter. He can't say too many good things about Earl. I mean, in reality, he should, because if you were trying to boost Bud up, it makes you speak well of Earl, and Bud beats him, then that makes it look like you know what the fuck you talking about, and that makes your man Terrence Bud Crawford look better. But
mm.
I mean, he can, if that's going to be his style of commentary, that's his style. I mean, he's been at it for, I think, over 10 years now. So I mean, somebody like it.
Now Tim's he's from Cali, right? For anybody in the chat, is
Yeah,
Tim from Cali?
like Palm Springs or something like that.
Yeah. So I would imagine that Tim probably smokes the best weed imaginable. And so, like right before that, he was outside too. So he probably just got finished blowing one. Because in what world would you think that Teofimo Lopez, like I remember heading into the Rolly Romero fight, people thought that Ryan Garcia had a chance. I ended up crashing out on here, hysterically laughing
Yeah,
because I think people judge boxing by names more than skill set and styles. And
absolutely.
they okay, well, since he beat names at 35, since he beat names at 40, we're going to assume because the guy at 47, the guy at a higher weight didn't face those caliber of names, so he'll automatically beat him because he beat better opposition. But there's
Yeah,
weight
it's
classes for a reason.
definitely weight class for a reason. I'll be honest. In all honesty, I actually picked Ryan to win. That was when I was wrong on. I picked Ryan to win. I also that night I also picked Teofimo to win. He's a racist, but I mean when you put the right person in front of him, I wanted Arnold Barboza to win, but Arnold Barboza is too flat footed. I
I
knew
knew.
that, and I told my dad, I'm like, see, I think Arnold gonna get him. I'm like, he been focused. He been wanting to shot Teofimo for a long time. I said, yeah, Dad, I hear all that. You know what I'm saying? He's hard charged for this fight, but he doesn't he don't got the right skill set to do it.
No.
And then he like and then after the fight, like, yeah, man, you was right. And I picked Ryan. I thought whoever landed they hook first was gonna win. I thought Ryan might land his hook first, but I got to give credit to Rolly and Ismael Salas. They made the adjustments. You that motherfucker, his right hand, not Teal, Rolly's right hand was glued to his face. You know what I'm saying? And then he dropped Ryan. That's when I came to the realization. Like 2 rounds later, I'm like, he's still in his head from that fucking sparring session. That sparring session coming being away for a year and everybody still are making excuses for Ryan. The Osterin and all this. I'm like, somebody like, man, he been away for a year. When the last time Rolly fought? Rolly ain't fought in a long time.
Really important
Devin ain't
forever.
yeah, Devin been away for a year too. He didn't look great, but he won. He didn't look great, but he won. So I mean, you can't make that. Y'all make a bunch of excuses for this man, and y'all are his crutch. Y'all are all his fucking crutch because y'all keep making all these excuses for him. The reality is, Ryan Garcia has a very fast left hook. He's very athletic, but but when 20 years after he retired from boxing, ain't nobody gonna say, you know who you need to watch Ryan Garcia. You need to watch him. That boy had skills. Nobody's gonna talk about him like that. They don't talk about him how you talk about a guy like Pernell Whitaker whose defense was like that. They don't talk like even Andre Ward is getting his flowers now. One of the most technical boxers in the world, in my opinion. You know, they're not gonna talk about Ryan Girl. They're gonna remember Ryan just a motherfucker could throw a hook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah, a
picked
lot of people
I
could.
picked I picked Rolly based off of him having so much success in the sparring that I felt like he just had his number. I
Joe, he
thought
been in his
it didn't
head
go
since then.
it didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go. I thought Rolly was just going to be really physical and clipping.
Yeah. Well, he
Rolly
can't be
outboxed me. It kind of fucked
once.
me up.
Yeah, Joe. I mean, once. I mean, Ryan didn't quit the fight, but he quit fighting. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he did.
He wasn't gonna get stopped a second time. But he's just like, man, I'm damn sure not gonna get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's my thing. He just he stopped trying. If you gonna stop, what, Joe? That shit was just like the whole card. Everybody, hey, what's your synopsis on the card, man? Fatal fodder. That joint just didn't deliver the way it's supposed. You can't sell it like
No.
that. But that's what happens when you say, all right, man, y'all fight, y'all win these fights. We got big money for y'all, and when y'all fight, y'all rematch. Nah, Joe, you got to stay on focus each time they put a fight in front of you. You can't look ahead of that because a fighter like me, I'm gonna try and to fuck up gonna try to fuck up everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Rolly probably wanted to do. That's what Arnold probably wanted to do. And that's probably what Jose wanted to do. I mean, but it's the A side's job to fucking to make sure that they don't fuck up the plans. But if I get wind of you get past this dude, you get past Michael Fox, we got Fundora for you. The fuck you do. If it's up to me, nigga, the fuck you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not motherfucking nobody. I'm not gonna just be nobody's stepping stone. You gonna earn your money every time you fight me. You gonna earn your money. Win or lose, you gonna earn your money tonight, Slim.
Yo, I picked T.O. because I saw T.O. skibbity pat Arnold Barbosa for like 6 feet away. And once I saw that, I realized that Arnold Barbosa didn't have the speed or the reaction time. I thought T.O. was stopping.
Yeah.
And
Well, I picked from the from Barbosa's last fight. He kind of struggled with Catterall. He struggled with Catterall. I get you went overseas and he still pulled it off, and I was happy with it. But it wasn't just no, you know, I mean, it was a split decision if I'm not mistaken. So it wasn't just no one-sided affair. You know what I'm saying? He had to earn it. And I mean, you went overseas, you got the dub, and I commend anybody that goes into enemy territory and walks out victorious. He did that. But when you actually sit and watch Teofimo, you watch Teofimo at his best, because he's not consistent these days. But you watch him at his best, and you watch Barbosa at his best. It was against, Barbosa was too flat-footed. Teofimo hops in, hops out, jumps here, jumps there. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker jumps off the top rope and then hits you with a jab. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, he's athletic as shit, and you got to be fleet of foot to do things like that. And Barbosa was a little too flat-footed. A little too flat. Like I like that. He's not going to beat. I like Barbosa, but he's not going to beat Tio.
If you come forward, he's gonna beat your ass. If you're a guy that's fleet of foot, he struggles.
Yeah, like when Jermaine Ortiz I think Jermaine Ortiz had a good showing against him. Bob Aramjad tore him up in the post fight. I'm like, damn, Bob, this your fighter. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo ain't do much. Like that fight, I remember. And then, and that's the thing with Teofimo. We don't know which Teofimo is going to show up. You should assume that the best Teofimo is going to show up each time, and you train as a fighter, you train for the best Teofimo. But like, no one expected Steve Clackett to go to a decision with Tia. Nobody expected that. Like you wash Josh Taylor, and then a few fights later, you struggle with Steve Claggett. How does this happen to the same fighter? But that's what happened since the Kambosos fight. You beat Lomachenko, and then I guess you didn't see nothing else to climb for, and the fall. You start looking like you was falling off. But then you come back and you beat Josh Taylor. Then you come back after that, you look okay against Sandro Martin, and then you beat who we beat. No, Sandro Martin was before Josh Taylor, I think. However the jump went, it's just up and down. He's been too up and down. Where we haven't, like, Boots has struggled in some fights, but he's consistently been him, in my opinion. He's consistently been himself. And how it's matched up with different people is how it's matched up. But nah, Boots is too big. I think he's just as athletic, and I think T.O. just want to get a couple more big checks, and he probably won't roll out. Hopefully he check into a psych ward, because he's a fucking weirdo.
Hey yo, Mike. I think that people want to see Boots fight T.O. because T.O.'s racist comments, and people want to see, a black fighter put paws on him. Ryan made some comments earlier.
Fuck Brian Garcia too. Fuck him too.
Yeah, a black fighter, and Rolly Romero. A lot of people don't know that Rolly's black. He got over on him, and I think that they're looking for that with T.O. and Boots.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, before before all the the racist shit, he was acting a fool. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, he like, first is like, bro got a screw loose, and then all the comments like, yo, like, and that's what I would say when people ask, like, man, he may be loopy, but the motherfucker can fight. I mean, it's still true. Like, this motherfucker may be racist, but he can fight. But Boots can fight too. Boots fights at a higher weight class. I seen Boots outside the camp. I was talking to Tiger Johnson one time. He said, "Man, I sparred him. That motherfucker was weighing. That motherfucker was probably the size of light heavy, or maybe even a cruiser. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Or like the thing, I think a fight that would make that seems like it more realistic, honestly, is Keyshawn Davis. But I think
Keyshawn and T.O. or Devin and
Keyshawn
T.O.?
Davis is up under him. He's not gonna get the money he gonna get from Boots fighting Keyshawn. And that's and Keyshawn, I think not Keyshawn. T.O. wants, he's won the belts and stuff. Now he wants the bread. And once you win the belts, you start asking for more bread. I understand that. But I mean, hey, if you take an ass whooping, you gotta pay him to take that ass whooping.
Facts. Last question. Me you talked about for a minute. Devin Haney. Why unanimous decision victory against Jose Ramirez, getting a lot of criticism and a lot of flack for the performance.
Yeah.
A lot of people think that Dev is done. A lot of people think that Dev is scary. To me, he looked a little gun shy, but from the circumstances, I feel like that was normal. I kind of expected him to settle in the later rounds. Didn't. Knew he had a big payday,
Yeah.
and kind of just fought to just make sure he won. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, he didn't take any unnecessary chances. I think it was a proving ground for him and Ryan, and by public consent. Well, Ryan lost, and by public consensus, um, Devin failed the test. Now, what I will say about Devin's performance, I would have loved to see him jab more. Like, you had one of the best jabs in the business. You had one of the one of the best jabs in the business. Devin, I should say. You worked behind your jab. I mean, you didn't score a bunch of knockouts, but you didn't need to because motherfuckers couldn't box with you. But now you're not jabbing. You moving a whole lot. Which, I mean, you see how I fight. I don't mind movement, but like when he's fighting behind his jab, that's when this motherfucker was looking special. That's when this motherfucker was looking like, the next Floyd or the next this or the next that. You know what I'm saying? Name whoever you want to name that they were comparing him to. But um, despite what Devin didn't do, no one's talking about what Jose didn't do. You know what I'm saying? They ain't talking about how Jose couldn't like he's moving like this. Jose, you're a former unified world champion and you don't know how to cut the ring off? Nobody's talking about what Jose couldn't do. Y'all all like blasting Devin because nobody likes Devin. I get it. He's not nobody's favorite. But goddamn, like nobody said, has anybody got under Jose's Instagram? Like, damn
No.
man, nobody ever taught you how to cut the ring off. Damn man, you don't know how to use a jab. You don't know how to, you know what I'm saying? They put it solely on Devin, but Devin's job is to win. Jose's job is to win too. But you know, when Jose realized that Devin isn't really engaging, why wasn't no one is asking, hey Jose, how come you didn't make no adjustments? They said, oh man, fuck that guy, Jose. He just ran from you. Devin just ran from you, Jose, and that's gonna hinder Jose. That's gonna hinder Jose's growth. You know what I'm saying? As far as Devin, I mean, I don't. My thing with Devin, after all these years of fighting, why do you still not have like a consistent team? I heard you started you started training with Nate Jones again. I think he was there. You was training
Yeah.
with Mickey Bay for a little bit. Then you brought Shane Mosley in. All these ideas at this point in your career, they're gonna collapse on each other at some point. Like you by this time, I feel like Devin Haney should have a coach that he sticks with. He should have a coach that he sticks with, but he's still just kind of all over the place. And I mean, it'll work for you until it works for you until it didn't, but the circumstances were crazy. Circumstances were definitely crazy. But um after that debacle, a year ago, he didn't show growth. That's why I look at the fight. I'm not like Devin Haney's fucking born. I'm just like the growth from that situation. I didn't really see it. I think Devin, but I mean the good news is he won and he gets. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Ryan fight, but he won, and now he gets to he gets to get back to the drawing board and fix what he did wrong and do and perfect what he did well.
Do you think in his next couple of fights he'll settle down more?
I think he should. I think as the fights go by, with the time, the in ring time is just is important. Yeah, he'll settle in. I think like I said, I think at this point he needs to settle in with a coach that he trusts and he knows, and because I remember I was talking with Mickey Bay. I remember he in one of the lives. Shout out to Mill City. He was just saying like, yeah, we working together. We filling it out. We finding kind of getting our shit back in order, whatever, right? But I remember there was somebody else in the chat, like, man, I think it need to be you. It need to be you. You need to coach. Somebody needs to help Bill to step down and let you be a coach, and he just be all that. They have it. We have one of those conversations. I'm like, I ain't really trying to be all up in that shit like this, but it is what it is. I mean, this dude had his opinion on the matter. I mean, my opinion is by this time you still should not be seeking out different coaches. I mean, and no disrespect to Shane Mosley, but where he been at? Who he been coaching? For you to seek him out, who has he been coaching at the level that you have been at? When you ain't
That's a good
seen,
point.
you ain't seen Shane Mosley Jr. up there.
It's a good point in general. Is that there's been a lot of it was like Ben. What is his name? Ben. The UK dude.
Ben. What is it? The dude Ben Davison.
Ben
From
Davidson.
overseas.
There's been a bunch of. It's been a revolving door with coaches with that. But I definitely think that he needs one dude or two guys,
Yeah.
and
You should
that's
have a
giving
team.
him.
Your team should not still be interchanging, swapping people
Yeah.
out at this point in your career. Like, I think is
But fight
you
by
keep.
fight though.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that by this point. You know what I'm saying? It
I
shouldn't
agree.
be that by this point. My thing is this: you go, you can get 5 different chefs to make a ribeye 16-ounce steak. Those 5 different chefs are gonna make a great steak, but they're gonna taste 5 different ways.
Thanks.
They're gonna taste 5 different ways. So when you're the steak, there's no consistency.
Hey, my man Ed says Tio outskills Boots. He's too good. Why didn't he outskill Cambosos?
Yeah, Teofimo is to me a fighter who fights with his athleticism. He's a leg fighter. Like, he bounces in and out, but like, dude, I don't like Boots. Boots is a skilled fighter who has good feet under him. That's the thing. That look at now you ain't gotta look at Cambosos. Look at his fight with Sandor Martin. Sandor Martin moved a little bit and he dropped didn't he drop Teofimo twice?
Yes, he did. He dropped
And
it.
and and I guarantee Boots is punching harder than Sandor Martin. So I think when it comes down to it, the when it comes down to it, the athleticism is going to be like probably at the same level, but the like I said, the skill set. I mean the substance was in, but you got the size, the weight advantage. He's going to be at a disadvantage in weight, and I mean when you got those two athletic guys, I think, and like I said, not TF Boots has the better coach. I think he has a better coach in the system. So, I mean, hey, listen, I pick Boots. Anybody want to pick Teofimo, you can pick Teofimo. I got Boots. I don't even know. I won't even say by stoppage. I don't know, because I feel like if it gets bad, Teofimo will try to survive because he don't want to be embarrassed like that. You know what I mean? But and
I
I
got
mean,
Tio.
go
I
ahead.
got Tio trying to survive after the second round. I think after a couple of jabs, he's gonna make a business decision.
Yeah, whenever Boost starts touching him, we got to see how T.O. reacts to being hit like that. That's the most important thing. We got to see how he reacts to being hit by a welterweight who will not be be back in the ring at 147. He's going to be back in the ring close to probably 170. Boost is a big dude, bro. Like, I seen him. I seen him outside the camp. He, I was like, he can't. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know how he does. I don't know how he does that shit. Like, that mother be big as shit. And he come down to 47. He makes 47. And then, I mean, he kind of look, and like But I watch how fighters rehydrate, and I ain't never seen him come back to the ring looking skinny and like, damn, I'm fucked up. Even when they had the IBF rehydration clause, now he got 2 belts. Both those belts are going to be on the line. There's no rehydration clause to adhere to. I think he's just gonna be too small. He's gonna be too small. His weight class for a reason. The skill sets are probably on the level. They could be on. The athleticism on the level, but like I said, the better skilled, the better trained boxer, Boots, Teofimo. I think in that we've seen Teofimo how Teofimo acts when shit isn't going his way. And then when Jermaine Ortiz was moving on him, he's look at him. You know what I'm saying? When Cambo the nonsense, the corner was in complete chaos during the Cambosos fight. So in those moments of pressure, that's when you find out what motherfuckers is really made of. And we've seen already how Teofimo acts under pressure.
Mike, I think ahead of time we said an hour, so it's like an hour and 10 minutes. I appreciate you hopping on, man. I'm sorry about Saturday. I'll be down there July 26th to see you back in the ring, and hopefully you get a fair shake.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. For everybody, let them know where to follow you at, Mike.
Now everybody follow me at Professor Mike on Twitter or X, whatever they want to call it. Twitter or Instagram. Professor Mike with a Y. I'll be on there. Talking boxing, you know what I'm saying? Whatever's coming up next and everything. I actually like watching the sport, so you know what I'm saying? It's happening with me.
All right, so that's my man Mykal, aka Man Boy from Snowfall.
I knew that was coming.
Huh? You know what's coming, man. Man Boy. Yeah, Man Boy. Mike, appreciate you. Yo, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button on your way out. Road to 100,000. Mike, I'll hit you up, but I'll be down there July 26th, man. Hanover, Virginia, live casino.
Hanover, Maryland, crazy.
Hanover, Maryland. Shit, I don't know why. I don't know why I said Virginia. Hanover, Maryland.
Yeah.
Live casino.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
All right, my man.
All right.